Welcome back, everyone. Chris Driven here. So to finally announce, I have a job now. Thank you to Spring Acura over in Riverside, California. I am working as a product specialist, so in turn, it is essentially a sales representative. However, product specialist because that means we have to know about the Acura vehicles and then maybe a little bit of information on competitors, and of course maybe even some of the used vehicles, but mostly pertaining to the Acura vehicles. And so far I've been liking it because I get to be around cars, obviously learning about them. And then just yesterday I was able to test drive the Acura Integra A-Spec, and then there was a TLX A-Spec. I really wanted to get into the Type S minus the Integra because they're not allowing us to, of course. And aside from that, I can't drive manual, but I would have wanted to experience the Type S on the TLX. And so, yeah, so far I've just been doing computer training, and then like I said yesterday, since I just finished, I got to learn how to connect your phone, because I know that's one of the main things when selling a vehicle to, clients, is they're going to want their phone connected. And then since they are wireless too, it's something that I wanted to familiarize myself with, along with learning how to work the drive modes, getting a feel for the car. So everything's been fun, and they pretty much give you the freedom to do almost whatever you want to make sure that you can be the best salesman, I guess. And so, yeah, today's going to be another day of me just test driving some other vehicles that I haven't yet, like the ADX, maybe even the RDX and the MDX. If you guys aren't familiar with those models, you can comment down below. I can probably help you out or post some shorts answering your questions. And so I will be honest, so with Acura, I'm not exactly familiar with it before I applied. I've known that it's affiliated with Honda, having the same engines and all that for some of the vehicles. But I've actually fallen in love with the brand. Like, I love the vehicles that they offer, although I feel like maybe they wouldn't fit for my lifestyle because I'm more of wanting to have a vehicle that can off-road, like a 4Runner or even like a Ranger Raptor, a Tacoma, Tundra, all that sort. And then of course I do love having sports cars. But yeah, it's just I have to be picky because I don't want to have a vehicle that I might not have loved for such a long time, if that makes sense. So for example, shooting for the stars here, but the Nissan GTR, that's my ultimate dream car. But I love a variety of vehicles, so that's kind of why I love to be able to explore a lot of other cars as well, and also enjoy them at the same time. So like I said, at Acura, I get to enjoy even the SUVs that they offer. Like, I get to actually enjoy them, and I'm glad I get to help other people, like I said, get into these vehicles, because based off everything I've learned so far and getting hands-on, like, they're really good vehicles. You still get that same Honda reliability, except this is more obviously like the premium luxury and performance side of the company. And so the only thing I'm worried about, obviously, is that type of career taking away my life. And that sounds bad. It was my wife's birthday the other day, by the way. But just with the scheduling is concerned. And I know that, we have to work. We have to work no matter what. But it's just one of those things in life now where I'm at the point that I don't want a job affecting my life but mostly my relationship in this case. And yeah, because there's times where, you know, some of these guys, they get out until like 10:30, depending if they have like a last minute sale. I know being a firefighter, it requires you to work a 24-hour shift, but I think maybe in my wife's mind, she might be more a little bit peace of mind knowing that I'm kind of doing something maybe more serious. But so that's kind of also want to get that's kind of what I want to get across as well. And this video is, like, I feel almost lost sometimes. Like, I know I love cars and everything, but you know, this is also technically an office job, but I also don't want to feel like a puppet to some higher ups, feeling like, you know, we're forced to, obviously we need to sell cars, but I don't want to do it in the way that they want to. I want to have the freedom to do it in my way, you know. So obviously there's lots to learn, and I'm not talking bad about, you know, the people I work with, just to be clear, but I'm just feeling that, you know, that sense of freedom that I need in order to, I guess, really be my best self is the best way I can say it. And but yeah, I'm kind of just putting this out here on YouTube, just to kind of document like how things are going so far. But yeah, there's been times already where I'm like repeating myself, and I need to stop talking so fast. But there's times that I feel kind of doubtful of being in this job. Obviously, I'm extremely grateful that I was able to get a job, so thank God for that. However, I won't be able to make that extra money on top of the hourly currently, since I'm not fully trained in, you know, selling vehicles to people. The only thing I've done so far is take people on test drives and, you know, talk about the cars and try to help them out the best that I can, because like I said, I'm barely getting trained through the computer and learning the vehicles and getting hands-on. So it's part of the process, and I just wish I already knew everything that I was doing. But one of the hardest things I'm gonna have to get over is me being such an introvert. So I know there's a few other team members I am working with that, I mean, they seem introvert and they do kind of communicate with other clients like they are. So I feel like for me, kind of being a lot more passionate about vehicles, I can easily sell vehicles, and then obviously sharing whatever information I can here on YouTube or even on TikTok, just depends. But mostly here on YouTube is where I'll share lots of information regarding the Acura vehicles. And then hopefully, what am I doing? See, this whole YouTube thing, it ain't easy. Talking to yourself is, you can do it on a normal, but just the fact that you have to hold the camera, I think it throws my brain off still. I'm still gonna put that out because, you know, none of us are perfect, and I'm no expert at doing this. You know, I've been doing YouTube for what, maybe about 2 years. Still have lots to practice, so like I said, I'm still gonna put that out. But anyway, only thing I'm enjoying too is not having to wake up so early every single day. So it kind of has its pros and cons when it comes to like going into work and then getting out. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. There's hardly anything that I can vlog, so I can't really take the camera to, you know, work and show you guys my life and everything that I'm doing. I can probably just talk about it for now. But since the type of videos that I do post on here, it's not gonna be all vloggy, because I don't know why. That's another thing too about when it comes to YouTube. Like, you don't even know what to post sometimes. It gets tricky. It gets really tricky. But anyway, I don't want to take up a lot of your time. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there and, like I said, document how everything is going, because maybe one day if my future kids come on here, they get to see, you know, how everything is for their dad if I get to live long enough to have kids, right? And I mean that because, you know, being a firefighter, it can get pretty risky. So that's not one thing I'm worried about, but for me, it would be unfortunate if, you know, if I passed and I left my wife. So that's another thing what makes it really difficult to decide, do I want to stay selling cars, or do I want to become a firefighter and then also have maybe that 50-50 of not coming home, you know? So like I said, I'm not afraid of leaving this world, but for me it makes it harder now because I have to think about my wife and my future kids, and even leaving my dogs and cats, you know. So especially this one.
Let me see me. Yeah, let me see me. Give me paw.
Okay. But yeah, I couldn't leave these guys. That's one thing that would be really hard, and I don't think I could get it over if I knew in the last moments that I was gonna be here. But yeah, I mean, as you guys can probably tell, I get into deep talk, so that's really the only other thing I can do. So I can't exactly vlog or show you my life until I have the Insta360 Go Ultra, if you guys haven't seen that new camera that came out. But I've been wanting that type of camera for such a long time. I'm not really the, you know, like, here's my life and everything holding the camera. Like, I'm more of living in the moment, so I would love to have a camera I can put here or on my hat, something, but I want to be living in the moment. So that's probably one thing that's also hard about, you know, doing YouTube. But it's just pretty difficult to do life right now because there's a lot that I want to do for people, and obviously myself and my family, and help everybody financially. But I myself have to get out of my hole and then obviously help my wife. But that's life out here in California. I was almost a whole month without a job out here. Crazy. And then even at this moment too, I may be applying for food stamps. So I know people say to not share like your whole life, but I'm not sharing it because I need people to feel bad. That's not the type of person I am. I'm sharing it because, you know, there's times where, you know, it gets tough, and especially if you're not privileged or so spoiled like other people, you pretty much have to fend for yourself and then kind of go beyond what you've ever really done. So yeah, applying for food stamps, probably something we'd have to consider for the time being, because California, I'm getting hungry out here. But we've been pretty fortunate so far, you know. Like I said, I have a job, and my wife, they've given her money through like school loans or whatever it is, you know, but this is obviously not, it's not free money, so she is gonna have to pay that back eventually. But that's one thing why I would love to make it big through whatever it is that I do. That way I can help her, you know, relieve that stress or whatever she's thinking. So yeah, I know everybody always wants to be like Mr. Beast, but that's not really the case for me. Like, I do want to, you know, do things for people, like whether it's helping them get groceries, get gas, change tires, get maintenance on their vehicles. I've mentioned it before in my other videos, but I just feel like I'm still so very far, which sucks. But yeah, I know this is my typical automotive channel, but like I said, I get to post these videos because why not? And it's just part of the process of life. So yeah. Anyway, if it got dark pretty fast, I do apologize, but yeah, I'm just the type of person that is like fighting himself inside. So it's nobody else. It's only me against me. And so I can understand if anybody else is also going through the same thing. You know, it's hard to keep going sometimes because you feel like you're just so far away from your goals. And I'm not saying that, you know, I want to be a millionaire or anything, but I just really, the goal really is to be able to pay every single one of our bills and not have any unnecessary debt, so loans, credit cards. You know, obviously using credit cards and then just paying it off like the next day, that way, you know, just to maintain or build credit. But I really just want to have the freedom to do what I want every single day, knowing that I'm earning money through, you know, either having real estate, which I would love in the future, digital real estate like YouTube, which if you guys haven't seen YouTube, it's very much like digital real estate, which is a cool way to think of, you know, because this video could pop off and have like 200, 500,000 views like a year from now, or who knows, whenever, right? So that's cool, but it's also you living your legacy, and like I said, it's like documenting what's going on. And you never know if somebody else is also going through the same thing, feeling the same way. Like I said, it's tough. And especially when you feel lost. And right now I'm 27 years old, so I know there's many other people who are successful. You know, they say you don't really have to have it figured out in your 20s, but at the same time, we don't have all the time in the world, and I would really love to enjoy me and my wife's youth while we don't have kids. So that's another, you know, form of pressure, which is why I want to make it enough already to not have to work so much. Or if we could work part-time and just be earning money enough to, you know, pay our bills, get groceries, and go have fun, that would be amazing. And then obviously giving people money back to the community, where it's through YouTube or in person, helping people, helping animals, you know, that's the dream. I mean, because I've noticed that, yeah, I don't think I could really fully be off. I was trying to say out and off, but I don't think I can be fully out of work. You know what? Actually, I have to go. I have to go work. Damn it. I get to go to work. Sorry, let me change that. But I'm saying that because I'm gonna run late. See you guys later. Stay driven, and talk to you soon.